Hey guys, I'm so sorry I missed you today. I kind of warned you that there were going to be some issues with my mother's illness that was going to conflict with classes and office hours, and I'd hoped to avoid that, but I don't think I'll be able to. Unfortunately, I missed Monday, and then Wednesday I'll be at a conference. So you get some time off to work on things and prepare for your speech. Just some information for where we're going. So I'm going to do a quick little video for you today, and I'll send you two links in the email, but it's also included in this little video. I want you to go to those links and then evaluate two speeches. They're very short. They're like 5 to 6 minutes each, and we'll talk more about that in a second. Now, when I meet you again on the 30th, that will be the last day that we have before you start your speeches. So I'm also going to send you a sign-up sheet so you can volunteer to maybe get your speech out of the way as soon as possible. So we're just going to have one day where we talk about that speech. So if you have not already looked at your comments on turnitin.com, please do so that you can contact me as soon as possible. Okay? So here's where we're going. For your rough drafts, you've already turned them in, but if you didn't get the grade you want, you can resubmit them. But I need to make sure that you understand something before we grade, because this was just a rough draft. But when you give that speech, it's got to be in fantastic format, okay? So I need to have 4 sources. 2 of them have to be academic, so it's got to be some sort of scholarly source, or at least a vetted or peer-reviewed source. A lot of you guys just had one source or used a .com site, and that won't work. You can use 2 of those maybe, but I need 2 that are at least scholarly. We need a key. A lot of you turned in a topic that had very disparate points, and so each one of those points could have been a speech entirely on its own. So I made the comment, and I said, hey, this is probably 3 speeches here. If I were you, I would choose one, I would simplify and research just that. So many of you turned in something like 3 reasons why college is hard, the stress, social issues, and tuition. Well, each one of those is a speech unto itself, so please make sure you look at those comments when you're ready to go for your speech. Now, the speech is 4 to 6 minutes long. I was going to try to do 5 to 7, but we don't have time. Just giving people time to transition from one speaker to the next and get set up each day, it really gives us 4 to 6 minutes each. So in a way, that's pretty good. If you don't have 4 minutes, it's going to cost you points. If you go over, it's going to cost you points. So I actually have a rubric that I've uploaded in Jupiter Grades. I think it's called Speech Points Eval or something like that. I have a slide that expresses that. So you can go see exactly what I'm grading for when you deliver your speech. So make sure that you have enough to fill 4 to 6 minutes. So if you have a speech that says, hey, 3 reasons why The Walking Dead is cool, it's neat, it's interesting, but it's not going to give you 4 minutes at all. Now you could do a speech about like 3 iconic zombie films or projects, or 3 reasons why this genre is popular. That might give you 4 to 6 minutes with appropriate sources. So make sure that your topic is specified enough that you can research, but general enough that you can elaborate on that. When you begin your speech, try to watch that throwaway question, that how many of you read books intro, followed by, great, this is why Stephen King is popular. I've said this a billion times, but I'll repeat again. I love the idea of an introduction, an attention getter that involves the audience. Just make sure that you're really doing that and not just asking a rhetorical question because you need an attention getter and couldn't think of anything else, okay? So I would revise or go back and look at those comments and to really get into the final draft. That was the rough draft. You're going to turn in a final draft the day of the speech. These speeches are worth a lot of points, so if you didn't turn it in, a 0's been logged, and it's going to hurt you dramatically. But you cannot present your speech unless I approve the topic. So if you didn't turn anything in, you will be unable to deliver your speech, and that's going to cost you even more points. So please make sure that you did that. Now, for those of you who did turn it in, fantastic. That's awesome. If you want some extra credit opportunity, feel free to revise that, make it better, and resubmit it. I'll happily look at it. Now, for speeches in general, for each one of the people that we watch give a speech, and for the homework that you're going to do today, you have homework, basically. You're going to be doing a little speech evaluation or a critique. So I want you to fill out 2 or 3 positive, constructive comments for the speaker, and then 2 to 3 things maybe to work on. So that could be just little notes that you jot down that that you feel like would help that person become a better speaker, for their group project that will be following it. For you, as you're delivering your speech, make sure your goal is very clear. I should know immediately, okay, this is what they want to get out of the speech. In a couple of the rough drafts, that was a little fuzzy, okay? So ask, practice, revise. When you're delivering your speech, try really hard to be relaxed, feet shoulder width apart, natural hand movements, lots of eye contact, enunciating all those words, not throwing away your last comments, and all of that comes really in practice. The big one is have a point. You need to be very clear and organized, so you need to be able to move from one point to the next, and I know why you're moving there, so you need clear transitions. You need to have a purpose, and you need to expect success, because you've practiced so much. So fill doubt with experience. That means you just practice over and over until it's second nature to you to deliver the speech. Okay, when you're delivering, don't rush. This is your work, and you should be proud of it. Don't apologize. Don't tell me, I'm sorry this is boring, or I'm sorry this is fast, because you will have practiced your way out of that. Don't tell me what you don't know. So don't say, well, I don't really know why this fact is true, or I don't really know how many people drink and drive in Oklahoma. You should know that information. And if you don't know the information, you shouldn't call your audience's attention to that lack of research. Be conversational and calm, and provide emphasis. So don't be monotone. For example, if I say destiny is not a matter of chance, but of choice, it's a different meaning than when I say destiny is not a matter of chance, but of choice. Just by emphasizing different words, I've changed the meaning of the sentence. And you get that. You practice your pauses and you're emphasizing it as you're delivering the speech to your roommates over and over and over. Watch that pace, okay? So pause for emphasis. Allow the audience to take in what you just said. Sometimes when I'm giving a speech, I'll say something that I think is really funny, and then I move on really quickly, so I don't really give the audience a chance to absorb what I just said. If you have a really powerful fact you're trying to make, or startling statement, let them absorb it for a minute. And some of you had some great ones in your rough drafts, so just make sure your audience has time to take that in. Use those pauses. They're like preparing for battle. There's nothing wrong with you just holding still for a moment and preparing for the next sentence. Be enthusiastic, but not insane. I've seen people become overly enthusiastic to the point that you're kind of worried if they need blood pressure medication. You're going to be fluent through preparation. So practicing, again, is the key. I just don't want you to be nervous, and I really feel like practicing helps with the nerves. You're going to practice articulating and enunciating certain words. If you have words that you know you mispronounce often, I would practice those words or replace them with something that you don't have an issue with. Gestures should be natural, not forced. And make sure you're writing to something or you're giving a speech that's your strength, that you're good at. So this is a speech, it's not an essay. So imagine what works better in front of an audience. An informative essay about Shakespeare? I think it's a great idea. How are you going to get the audience to care about an informative essay about Shakespeare? Because you can't read to them at all. Okay, so thinking about the things that we just talked about pace and emphasis and articulation and preparation, I want you to consider that in addition to the things that we've already talked about. So we've already talked about attention getters and preview statements and introductions and transitions and key statements and thesis statements. I need you to put all of those in your mind for what a speech should look like. And then today what I've done is I've given you 2 little small student speeches that I'd like you to look at. They're from students that are a little bit younger than you or your age. One of them is a college speech, one of them is a high school graduation speech. I want you to look at 3 things there. Number 1, go to Jupiter Grades and look at the file called Speech Point Value. That will show you exactly what I'm looking at when I'll be grading your speeches. And you might want to glance at that, and then while you're looking at these 2 speeches, and I'll include the links in an email also, I want you to look at each speech, and then I want you to critique it with that rubric in mind. Now, it can be informal. I just need 3 or 4 comments constructive to improve, and 3 or 4 comments about what they did really well for each speech. So you'll be turning in 16 comments total. And it's okay if you want to do more. If you really want to get involved and earn a little extra credit, that's fine too. Now Wednesday I'm going to be in Dallas, but if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to call me or text me. Also, I have the app called Marco Polo, which I love. So go ahead and download it and we can do some videos. You can finish Wednesday's class from home, okay? But I do need to receive the comments about this speech. Oop, this says Tuesday. But we need it by Sunday, okay? So by Sunday at midnight. So Wednesday is when class is. That means your Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to prepare this assignment and then email it back to me, okay? So you have two options for the material. You can go, there's a PowerPoint slide that's called October 25 on Jupiter Grades, or you can just look at this video and then I'll send you the links, whichever is easier for you. I've logged the Chapter 9 quizzes, and that's really it. Now, when I meet you on the 30th, I'll be talking about visual aids and some things that you can do to prepare for your speech as we get ready. So I'm going to send you this video with the links, and then I'm also going to send a sign-up sheet if you'd like to start volunteering to go first now for your speeches. I'm so sorry I missed you this week. You don't know how much it just throws me off. I really, really enjoy this class, and it's a treat for me, and I feel like I'm missing something when I don't see you. Thank you so much for your patience. I'll be thinking about you while I'm in Dallas, and I'll see you Monday.